Hello everyone, welcome to SQL Maestros. I am Satya Ramesh. Today we are going to discuss about one of the transaction isolation levels that are available in SQL Server, which is read committed. So in SQL Server, we have 5 different isolation levels that are available. Which are read uncommitted, read committed, repeatable read, serializable, and snapshot. So these are the 5 different isolation levels that are available in SQL Server to maintain concurrency. So concurrency means whenever multiple users trying to access the same database at the same time, so this is called concurrency. So whenever multiple users are trying to access the same data, we are bound to get few problems. So to avoid few problems, we use different isolation levels. So to avoid one particular problem, we use one particular isolation level. So today we are going to discuss more about problems we can avoid using read committed and problems that are going to occur if you run your SQL Server under read committed. So let's go ahead and know few more facts about read committed isolation level. So read committed isolation level is the default isolation level in SQL Server. So whenever you open up a new query window, or else whenever you open up a connection to SQL Server from your application, by default SQL Server runs in read committed isolation levels. So in read committed isolation level, we can only control readers but not writers. So whenever we can only control select queries but not update queries like DML operations. So in the same lines, we need to learn few more things about how locking happens whenever you run SQL Server under read committed. So take this example: select star from table name where ID is equal to 1. Select star from employee table where ID is equal to 1. So this particular transaction started under read committed isolation level. So immediately after read completes, the lock will get released. So what is this lock? Whenever you're trying to read the data, SQL Server will acquire a shared lock. Whenever you try to update the data, SQL Server will try to acquire an exclusive lock, and these two locks are incompatible. So we'll learn more about locks in another video series, but for this particular video, we need to know about these two things. So whenever you're trying to read the data, SQL Server will acquire a shared lock, and whenever you're trying to update the data, SQL Server will acquire an exclusive lock. But when you run your SQL Server under read committed, you are telling that you read only committed data. So a transaction started which is running somewhere else, you are not going to read the data that is running by that particular transaction. So you are reading the data only before other transaction starts, or else only after the transaction commits or rollbacks. In between, you cannot read the data when you run your SQL Server under read committed isolation level. This is one advantage, that we can able to read only final data, that is the consistent data. So there is the advantage of reading the committed data. And if you look at the third bullet point, shared locks will get released immediately after read completes. So whenever you're trying to read the data, you acquire a shared lock, and immediately after the reading operation completes, SQL Server will release the shared lock so that other concurrent transaction can able to access the same row. So this is, in a way, it's better, but this will lead to another problem called non-repeatable read problem or phantom reads. So there are two things here which we need to learn if you run your SQL Server under read committed. The point number 1 is you will able to read only committed data. Point number 2 is shared locks will get released immediately after read completes, so that few more problems may occur. So if you want me to summarize what will happen, what will not happen, meaning what we can avoid and what we cannot avoid if you run your SQL Server under read committed. If you look at this simple table, so before we going to look at the simple table, these are the 3 different problems that are available that may occur in your SQL Server. So first one is dirty read, second one is non-repeatable read, third one is phantom read. So these are the 3 different concurrency problems that may occur in SQL Server. There are few more, but these 3 are most prominent. So if you run your SQL Server under read committed isolation level, you can avoid dirty reads, but you cannot avoid non-repeatable reads and phantom reads. This table summarizes what you can avoid and what you cannot avoid. Let's go ahead and see these 3 in action. I'm in SQL Server Management Studio and I'm going to demonstrate what is dirty read. So let me start this particular transaction. Consider left hand side is transaction 1 and right hand side window is transaction 2, and similar way you can call it also as session 1 and session 2. So let me run my transaction under AdventureWorks database. So I have created one staging table because I do not want to mess up with AdventureWorks database. So I have created an employee table which is our staging table for our demo purposes. So I have already created, so I'm not going to create it again. So let me run this transaction first. So before running this transaction, let me copy this particular thing first there. So if you observe this particular query, we are starting a transaction explicitly by mentioning these two keywords called begin tran. So we are going to update this particular row of an employee ID is equal to 1. We are setting up job title is equal to dirty read. Before this update, the job title is Chief Executive Officer. Now I'm going to update this particular value as dirty read. So let me execute this particular transaction. So this transaction started and it's updated, but we didn't commit the transaction nor roll back the transaction. While this is on fly, another user comes in and he started running SQL Server under read uncommitted. So let me execute this particular transaction. So if this particular query executes and the output of this particular query, if you observe, the job title is dirty read. So we have updated the value as dirty read and this particular transaction read the job title as dirty read. Now instead of committing this particular transaction, I'm going to roll back this particular transaction. So if you roll back this transaction and execute this query again, and if you observe the job title, the job title is Chief Executive Officer, but according to this transaction the job title is dirty read. So according to this transaction the value is different, according to this transaction the value is different. So the transaction 2 read the wrong data. So this particular phenomena is called as dirty read. So this is called dirty read problem, which can be avoided if you run your SQL Server under read committed isolation level. So let me repeat the same thing again so that I can show you can avoid dirty read problem if you run your SQL Server under read committed. So I have run this particular transaction under read committed. So this query is getting blocked. So until unless we issue a rollback or commit here on the left hand side, this transaction will continue to wait. So let me issue a rollback here. Immediately after issuing a rollback, we can see the output on the right hand side and the value is Chief Executive Officer. So if you run your SQL Server under read committed, you can avoid dirty read problems. So now let me show you another example which is called non-repeatable read problem. This transaction is running under AdventureWorks database. So I have copied this particular code here on the right hand side. So let us observe this code first. So this code is running under read committed isolation level and we are starting an explicit transaction by mentioning begin tran. So observe this. So at the beginning of the transaction, we are reading the job title of employee who is having business entity equal to 1, and at the end of the transaction we are repeating the same read again. So beginning of the transaction once and at the end of the transaction once. So between these two queries there is some delay. Assume that some business logic is going on before here. I'm just simulating that business logic by injecting a delay for 5 seconds. So this is what happens in this one. So while this delay is going on, another transaction comes in and trying to update the same row where we are reading here. So let me execute this one first. So I have executed this transaction first, and while this is going on, I have executed this transaction as well. So immediately after 5 seconds, this transaction gave an output. If you observe the output, the first select statement output is Chief Executive Officer, and the output of the second select statement is different. So you're trying to repeat the same read again in the same transaction, and at the beginning of the transaction our value is different and at the end of the transaction our value is different, because some other transaction comes in between these two select statements and updated the same row again. So this is called a problem non-repeatable read. So this problem is happening because of the because of read committed isolation level behavior. As we discussed earlier, read committed isolation level releases the shared lock immediately after this read completes. So we are trying to read this row. SQL Server acquired a shared lock on this particular row and read completed and release that particular row and trying to do rest of the business logic. So just because SQL Server released this particular lock, another transaction can able to update that particular row, so that this is creating a problem called non-repeatable read problem. So this can be avoided if you run this transaction under non-repeatable read isolation level that we are going to discuss in another video. So let us discuss the other problem called phantom read. Let me run this transaction under AdventureWorks database again. So we have two transactions here, transaction 1 on the left hand side and transaction 2 on the right hand side. So we can also call it as session 1, session 2, connection 1, connection 2 as well. So let me explain this scenario now. So we can run this transaction under read committed, as we are discussing about read committed transaction isolation level. So we are running this particular transaction under read committed isolation level, and let me run this query. So what happens if you run this particular batch of statements? So in the beginning of the transaction, we are deleting few rows from employee table between ID 1 and 10, and after some delay we are selecting the table. So what we are assuming is these particular rows, the range of rows will not appear at the end of the transaction. So this is scenario. So while this delay is going on, another transaction comes in and trying to insert the values in the same range that we are trying to delete here. So let me execute this transaction first. So this transaction will start and then delete 10 rows. After some delay, it will start reading the values. So let me execute this. While this transaction is going on, let me execute this transaction in the second right hand side window. So I have started this transaction first and then this transaction later. So now if you observe, at the beginning of the transaction, we have deleted all the values between 1 and 10, and we are trying to read the same values. So according to me, there should be no values between 1 and 10, but all the values between 1 and 10 are appeared here in query result window. So this is because another transaction comes in and inserted the data. So this is if you run your SQL Server under read committed isolation level, this is one more problem that will cause. So in the later video, I'll tell you how to avoid this problem as well. So these are the things we have discussed in this video. So we can avoid dirty read if you run your SQL Server under read committed, but we cannot avoid non-repeatable read problem and phantom read problem. Thank you for your time. You can follow me on Twitter at satyaramesh230, and you can also follow SQL Maestros at @SQL Maestros. Thank you for your time. See you in another video.